Hey everyone, in this video we'll be covering the move class function called setPeopleToPickup. If we were to look at the effects clause of this function, we see that there are 5 separate tasks indicated here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. However, for the sake of this video, we'll ignore task 1 as it's really just being able to set private member variables of the function. The next 2 will combine into one task, so we'll separate this video into 3 parts, task 1, task 2, and task 3. So for the first task, it says to add the indices specified in pickup list to people to pick up, and then increment num people to pick up by 1 for each person being picked up. So to kind of go through the different things that'll be modified, the first thing is string pickup list, which is a parameter to the set people to pick up function. String pickup list is essentially a string of indices in an array. So the next thing we want to look at is people to pick up. People to pick up is a member variable of the move class, which is really just an array of integers representing the indices of the people we want to pick up on this move. And the last thing is num people to pick up, which once again is an integer variable, member variable of the move class, representing how many people we want to pick up during this move. So what we want to do is looking at string pickup list. If string pickup list were to be 0, 2, 4, and 6, once again, this string just represents a string of indices in an array. So we want to be able to separate this string into single-digit characters and then convert these single-digit characters to integers. So if pickup list were 0, 2, 4, 6, we want to separate it into a single-digit character, this 0. We want to then convert this character 0 into an integer and then add it to the people to pick up array, 0. And then as we do that, we want to increment num people to pick up to represent how many people we want to pick up on this move. So it would go to 1. Going back to pickup list, we want to separate a single digit character, convert this character to an integer, add this integer to people to pick up, and then increment num people to pick up to correspond with how many people we want to pick up on this move. Once again, going back up to pickup list, we'd want to isolate a single digit character, convert this character to an integer, and then add this integer to the people to pick up array, and then increment num people to pick up. And then with the last character in people to pick up list, once again, convert it to an integer, add that integer to people to pick up, and then increment num people to pick up to represent how many people we're picking up on this move. Okay, for the second task, it says to add satisfaction gained from each person picked up to total satisfaction. So as we're adding these integers to people to pick up, we have to remember that each one of these integers represents an indice or an index into this people array in the floor class. So what you have to do is use the floor object that's passed in as a parameter to the function, and look at the floor class and see if there is a member function that allows you to access a person at a particular index in this people array. Once you find that function, pass in one of these integers to access that person. So for example, with this integer 0, we want to access the person at index 0 in this people array. Once we access that person at index 0, we then want to look at the person class and see if there's a function that allows us to access the anger level of that person. We need this anger level of that person because in order to add the satisfaction gained from each person, we have to calculate max anger minus the anger level, or the anger level of each person that we're adding to the people to pick up array. So once again, as you add this integer to people to pick up, use this index to access a person in the people array. Once you access that person, try to find a member function that will allow you to access this anger level, and use this anger level to then calculate the satisfaction gained and add this satisfaction gained to total satisfaction, which can be found in the move class. Now for our last task, it says to set target floor to be the most extreme floor of those being picked up furthest up or down. So what we want to do here is be able to set this target floor member variable of the move class to be essentially the largest distance between the current floor and the target floor of each person we're adding to the people to pick up array. So current floor is a parameter that's passed in to set people to pick up. So for this example, let's imagine current floor was 4. And for each person that we add to the people to pick up array, 0, 2, 4, and 6, let's say they had a target floor of 1, 6, 7, and 8. Now, with this information, we want to be able to calculate the distance between the current floor and each one of these target floors and see what's the maximum distance. So for person 0, they have a target floor of 1, and we have a current floor of 4, so our distance is 3. With person 2, with a target floor of 6 and a current floor of 4, we have a distance of 2. For person 4, we have a target floor of 7, current floor of 4, so we have a distance of 3. And for person 6, we have a target floor of 8 and a distance of 4, so we have a current floor of 4, so we have a distance of 4. So here we see that the most extreme or the maximum distance between the people and the current floor is 4. So we want to then set target floor, once again target floor being the private member variable of the move class, to be 4.